I really enjoy doing physical research, going to all the places I write about, and figuring out how to get access to places that are not easily accessible or publicly accessible. I think it's important to take what you're making up in fiction and anchor it in a reality that's there. So you get the streets right, go to those places. In 25 books, I've only written about one place I never actually got to, and it came back to haunt me when people said, like, "We're never there." They got that right.
Yeah, same. I like to go there. I also just think you just ask. I mean, if someone called you today and said, "I'm researching a book, I just want 10 minutes of your time to tell me about your job," very few people would say no. Even in the Secret Service, it surprised you. I know the word secret is in the title, but you'd be surprised. Even now.
Even now?
Even now. And they will. I mean, especially if you put them in a book and you make them a hero, they'll really tell you a lot.
I think it probably is easier if they call, but that's just my guess.
Yeah, people like to talk about their jobs, even if it is secret or if it's sensitive. I mean, when I started researching the books that John Corey books were the Joint Terrorist Task Force in Manhattan, these are FBI and New York City cops working together, most of the CIA. And they love to talk about what they do. But I find that people in sensitive jobs who are retired will tell you a lot more than when they're obviously on the job.
Well, they have the time. Another question. Okay.
I noticed there's only men on this panel, so I wanted to ask you who are some of your favorite female writers in your genre, and I wonder why you think their work is different from yours or the same as yours?
I'll just say I'm
a trick question.
That's right. That's right. I will say that I didn't notice that when we got up here. I was thinking, boy, would I like my friend Laura Lippman to be sitting here right now. For sure. Plus, I think Krista should be sitting here too, but that would be much harder when we pull out.
It'd be a different conference.
Laura Lippman, Gillian Flynn. I think she's fantastic. S.J. Lozanne has been great for a number of years. There's a newer female writer, Lori Roy, who won the Edgar this year. I loved her first book, is Ben Road. Lauren Moore is another favorite of mine. Anita Shreve. I can go on and on and on with great female writers. So there's no shortage of them out there. I think the question was how different is the work, or why is the work different? You know, I don't know in that many cases that it is. Obviously, there's different sensibility and worldview and experience, but I think a great writer, a great female writer can inhabit the world and skin of the male protagonist just fine, and a great male writer can do the same. I think everyone here is written from a female point of view at a different point of the journey, and that's part of the challenge and fun. There's so many great female writers. I'll go the rest of the panel naming them off, so I'll cut myself off there.
Yeah, it's actually because I write this for a living. Reading like books like by male writers, male protagonists, it's too much like my work, and like to see the writer behind the lines. So for escaping into fiction, I like to not only read about other locations, foreign countries and so forth, but I might be more inclined to read a book written by a woman than a male. I should mention
Denise Mayer,
Megan Abbott. There's a lot of really good writers, but I don't like differentiate. These are male books, these are female books.
Great. And Nelson, we'll just save you. You want to be saved?
Agatha Christie's my favorite writer.
Very good. And a plug for my friend Karen Slaughter. She's really good. Yeah. She called you, Michael, a teddy bear. I said, teddy bear? Really? Karen said that you were a teddy bear. He's so wonderful as a teddy bear. I thought, really? Have you read his books? Another question. Once I did this, I ran out into the audience, and I hold the microphone because somebody grabbed it and started singing White Christmas. I guess they thought it was their debut. It was very scary. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you all. This has been a great panel, and I'm just going to ask a few quick questions in the style of inside the actor's studio. So you're going to have to give some quick quick answers to some random questions of whatever pops in your mind. Starting with, who is your favorite character in history? Great. Anybody
Fictional or
Fictional or real?
yeah.
Either one.
Huckleberry Finn.
Huckleberry Finn.
George Washington.
Bill Marlowe.
What's your earliest memory?
My mother coming into my nursery school class baking cupcakes for us. And I was sitting on top of her chest, and I was slicing her throat and choking her. But I don't think that that's important to the dream.
I'm old enough to remember BE Day and NBJ Day. I was just a kid. I mean, I was born when I was a kid, and that is my earliest memory. It was so everything was electric. People understood something had happened, and I was a little kid. I understood. And then about 2 or 3 months after the war ended, my father came home, this Navy guy in uniform. And I was 2.5 years old. It's good.
I remember my father bringing home this brand new invention called Frisbee.
The Frisbee?
Yeah, throwing it in our, we had this long dormer back porch. In a house, we left that house in 1958, so it was a really, must have been only 1 or 2. I remember.
I was fascinated with locks, and I stole my mother's keys and tried to use them to open the lock. It turned out the lock was actually an electrical outlet. And I vividly remember her face just before I ceased to remember anything at all. And I think that is actually where the supernatural ideas later came from. Credit it back to that first good jolt.
What is your most treasured possession?
Signed first edition of the Black Echo. Shameless.
My daughter, I guess. I don't know if I can call her possession, but
Yeah, I don't know that kids.
My marriage license.
Marriage license. Very good.
His wife does not agree with that. I see her face.
What trait do you most deplore in yourself? Deplore in yourself. Maybe we should have this significant other's answer.
procrastination.
Procrastination.
I rack with guilt. If I feel like I've harmed someone, I can't let it go.
Started with your first memory.
Yeah, no.
I just want back every word that leaves my mouth most of the time. So.
That's why you're a writer, though, right? The whole thing of being a writer is that you get all those moments in time where you say, "I wish I said something perfect." You get the time to say it.
You get the chance.
Like I remember seeing this one person I didn't like, and I remember spending so much time on what I was going to say, and then I just put them in a book and killed them. It was so much easier.
Right off the anchor. We'll have a therapy session for Brad afterwards. And then is it trait you deplore yourself?
Like most people, procrastination.
Procrastination.
You know, we understand that we procrastinate. Most people do. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, if you do it, you got to live with it. You got to make it a good thing. People take the bull by the horns and don't procrastinate, often make mistakes. That's my logic and my excuse. But we don't procrastinate. And authors procrastinate because you got to sit there every day and begin the book.
And Hachette's saying that you're giving us excuses already. Turn it in.
Lots of excuses.
Turn it in, right. Well, any last questions? Well, thank you all. This has been a great one. We give a huge round of applause. And I will plug them anyway. You can follow them on Facebook and find them on Twitter and find all of them. It's just terrific. So thank you all. Have a great afternoon.